Mm-hmm.
The main reason I would have no problem deleting the video and having it go away and stay away. But the main problem I had with it is now that I can't get in it, I can't know which pieces of it were doing what.
Right.
So it's just a
Okay.
learning experience, I suppose.
All right. We are live. Hello,
Oh,
everyone.
hello there.
Joneser and I are just hanging out on Memorial Day. Right now, I'm over here going over to my live studio control room in YouTube Studio to try to pull up the studio so I can see how the stream is doing. Because right now, Joneser, it will not surprise you to know there's absolutely no one watching us.
Makes sense.
Yep. Oh, Rolando Flores is here. Hey, Rolando, what's happening, man?
Well, you haven't made it until you got.
I'm gonna pop that chat out and see if it'll start showing the chat. Yeah, that's what I told you. When Rolando started coming over here, one of the first things I did was go ahead and give him that wrench. He is what we call the universal moderator.
I should have done that while he was there. I should have done that for a few.
Huh?
I should have done that for a few people that were in there because you never can have too many people you trust in there.
All right. Yeah, Rolando says, yeah, he's getting the muscles out there with the wrench. Yeah, you are the universal moderator, my buddy. And let me turn this to live and refresh this. And Joneser and I were talking about what happened to his stream there at the very end when he was showing that clip from the Indian Bollywood Chuck Norris movie. What the hell it was called, I don't know.
I think someone started to tell me the name right when I got it. Because that's what I was about to try to. I was about to try to figure out how to respond back to the person that said the name of the movie. Or at least I think that's what they were doing. And then all of a sudden I seen you. Oh, it got you.
Yeah, it got you. One of the things that I found very interesting in that was it got all the way to the point to where I guess the Jeep had gone off the end of the pier and everybody was flying through there. Hey, Mike.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, boom, it popped up with that little sad little, this stream has been terminated.
That was a shame. I was wondering if it's a funny clip. I was hoping I could keep it and keep using it, but apparently I'm gonna have to let that one go. And now I won't know which other ones I should be letting go or not because I can't access the dang video anymore.
Right. And Honor You 83 here with us. Hey man, what's happening? I'm gonna reload this. Maybe I can get my featured chat done. It won't refresh my little screen, so I can put it up on the screen here. Usually that happens when my CPU's overloaded, which it probably is right now.
Hold on a sec. Do this.
What you watching? Watching something on?
Not watching YouTube, anything. So. I was removing the thing, and then it starts auto playing everything else.
They may not let you trim that until they finish processing it. Has it finished processing yet?
I don't know. I will look. But if it's at all possible, I thought I was getting quite a bit of views, interactions, and watch hours. I'd love to have kept it, but
Yeah, yeah. That it was a good stream. I mean, you got a lot of people in there that you hadn't had before. But then again, my ass was out there promoting it on different places.
sure. I had a lot of people in there that I hadn't seen in a while too, like old Dale of Suspense. And it was funny as I've told you that story many times. He was right there with me with the 100 subscriber mark, and I've constantly retold that story whenever I'm looking at YouTube's jiggery pokery and wondering if they're messing with things. That's my always my go-to. I know they are. I know they are because I seen it, and he saw it too because we were right there together watching it happen in real time. And it was funny as hell, but it was also one of those things where you look back on it and you go, that couldn't have been real.
Crazy, this thing isn't working.
I don't know if your audience knew what I was talking about there, but basically, I was going to hit the 100 subscriber mark. I was somewhere in like 94, 95, and I was on Instagram watching my YouTube channel, and I wasn't live or anything, but I just put a video out and saying, you know, that I think I'm about to go over and yada yada yada. And I think I even had a contest or a giveaway or something. I think I did. Not that those ever help, but he went on Instagram. He's like, "Oh, congratulations on the 100." And so then I go look and I go, "What are you talking about? I'm at 94." And he's like, "I just saw it. It was just at 100." And then he goes, "Holy crap, now it's at 88. What the heck is going on?" And then I look and then I go, "Okay, now it's 95." And then he goes, "Yeah, okay, now you got 100." And I go, "I haven't seen that yet." And then sure enough, I'm like, "Oh, now I'm up to 97." And then he goes, "Dude, what the heck? Now it's 92." And we sat there and he kept saying a different number than I was saying as it kept moving around. And it did that for 10, 20 minutes. I mean, no joke. We just sat there on this Instagram message laughing at it and going, "Dude, this is insane." And then finally, when I saw it went over 100, it hit 102. And then it never went under 100 again.
Wow.
And it was just one of those things where, like, in a matter of 20 minutes, I mean, it's like you're going to have to believe that a matter of 12, 15 subscribers came and went in that time and then came back and then went away again and then came back. And it's like, I don't think so.
Yeah, you've told that story to me before. I've never experienced that, or at least I haven't been just kind of watching it when something like that. But what I have experienced is you gain 4, then the next day you'll lose those 4, and the next day you'll get them back. It's like YouTube's like, okay, well, you got those, but we need to check and see if they're real or not. So we're going to take them away from you. Oh, they're real. Here, you can have them back.
And you know, maybe that was what they were doing, but this wasn't like over a 24-hour period or something like this. This was like within a couple minutes sometimes.
That's crazy.
And I almost wonder if because it was a milestone.
Oh, Nightwing, $5 getting paid.
Chat.
Get paid. Yeah. What you want, Nightwing? I can play it for you.
I think I know.
I think I'll go ahead and set that up for him and go ahead and play it for him because I know he wants it.
I think I know what he's asking for.
Pretty much. Let me get over here where that stuff is. Here it is. All right.
But yeah, maybe that's what it was. Is it was a milestone, and they were reviewing all 100 of them at that moment, and they were giving and taking away as they were
That's probably what it was. You're right.
Yeah, but at the time when I didn't know anything about YouTube, Dale, I think he was at a couple hundred subscribers. He's a comic book content guy, and yeah, we were watching that together, and he was like, "This is the craziest thing I've ever seen." I remember him saying.
All right, let me see if I can make this thing redo what it's supposed to be doing here. I think I screwed.
Well, when you get that getting paid to poo, I'm gonna get some sludge.
I got you. All right, what I'm doing right now is I'm redoing my URL in my featured chat overlay here. Hopefully, I've got that fixed.
Earl.
Let's see here.
Gotta fix Earl.
Gotta fix my stuff here. I didn't do it. All right, so come on. This is making me mad. All right, let me grab this.
Get paid, shit. Paid right. Just 45 minutes.
But he wants getting paid. That's right. I set up the wrong thing anyway, so I'm glad you did that. Let me save the link address.
It's time to sing a song that Bill cannot find.
Oh, Bill can find it. Bill's doing something else right now. Apply this. Close that. Let's see if that's going to do it.
And since Nightling's here, I have to do this every time I see him.
Absolutely. Go into studio mode here and go into the comment section here. Comedy Corner. Add files. Yeah, you're fixing to get paid, buddy. Here it comes. All right. And activate that. Get out of studio mode. Come back over here. All right, Joneser, go get you some sludge. Yeah, and Joneser, he's going to get him some coffee made. I'm drinking a Coke, and then I'm going to make me some coffee myself here in a minute. So I guess I'll go to here. Hey, thanks for the $5 super chat there, Nightwing. I appreciate it. You got what you wanted from that. All right, so earlier today, Joneser had hey, Manic Plastic, what's going on, man? My featured chat is not working today, and I've been trying to make it work here, and it's being a bear. It doesn't want to cooperate with me, so there you go. But yeah, Joneser was streaming earlier today, and he was having a good time doing that, and he got there at the end. It's one of those risks that you take when you do shit like that, and I hear him messing around in there, so let me bring him back up here. There he is. And like I was telling him, that's a risk you take, man. You put that shit up there and you don't know. Now, there is a way to find out, and that is to make a small video with the clip that you want to use, upload it privately to YouTube, and let them go ahead and check it for you. And if it's got problems, then you know you can't use that. But that takes time.
You can do that without getting struck or hit?
Yep. Because you uploaded it privately, one, and two, you have the ability to get rid of it. There goes my featured chat starting to work now.
Okay.
Well, it started to
well,
work.
I'm going to say that the thing wasn't a total loss for me, even if I delete the video, for a few reasons. One, I figured out how to use Streamlabs. That's going to be very helpful to me. Two, I got the rhythms right of going between the scenes and switching things over, and I've seen that Streamlabs and OBS can be friends, and you could do it all from there and have it all on one screen, and then there's a lot more craziness you can perpetrate from that end. So this was definitely a growing day, a day for growth.
Oh, I had to go get some cigarettes here earlier, so I got out of the house and did what they call touching grass. which is why I don't watch Doctor Who anymore. I was told by Nakuti Gatwa that I needed to go touch some grass, so that's what I've been doing.
Yeah, I've never been a big Doctor Who person, so I don't know much about it.
Yeah.
Um,
The
I do
original
know
show
that
was
you
a
and
bomb.
Largo. I do know that you and Largo would talk about it sometimes. You know, when I was on with you guys, and I remember being, oh, well, I need to check this out. If the two guys that I trust like it this much, then I should probably like it too.
I would tell you this. All right. First of all, if you like low budget sci-fi, but that actually has a decent story and script, Doctor Who's your show. But it's got a long history to it. My suggestion would be to watch the first season of Tom Baker's Doctor. Before you watch anything else, just watch that. That's what we all watched first when we were kids. And then if it starts to strike your fancy at that point, because you don't really need to know anything about the show when you start watching that season, you really don't. Get in there, start watching, just jump in feet first. I'm at the gym working out and enjoying the chat, says Nightwing. There you go, man. It's just a chat today. I mean, we would do whatever you want. I mean, if you guys want to see some stuff, I'll certainly do that. But anyway, go in there, jump in feet first on Tom Baker. Now, if you like it, start watching the Tom Baker. Tom Baker stayed in there longer than just about anybody else, except maybe modern Doctor Who David Tennant's run. But and then if you like it, watch the rest of them in the old seasons, not that new stuff. Then once you reach the very end of it with Sylvester McCoy, when you play the last season of him in his last episode, which was a little bittersweet, then grab the TV movie from 1996 with Paul McGann. Watch that. Then you're ready to get into the new stuff. And the new stuff is good all the way until about the first or second season of Matt Smith. After Matt Smith came Peter Capaldi. He's an acquired taste. His first season was pretty good. The last season he did was not as good as the other stuff that he had done. And then after that, it all goes downhill. Yes, Blue Sasquatch wanting to know if it's live. Yeah, Mary Otwall there, our very own radical mom, was asking your question for you in Jones's stream.
I can tell you what kind of taste in movies I have, Bill, very simply by telling you what I was watching last night. I am not very particular or very picky when it comes to cheesiness, corniness, or if the movie is quote unquote bad. In fact, some bad movies I find quite enjoyable, or some bad movies that other people think are atrocious, I find quite enjoyable. I was watching The Toxic Avenger last night.
Uh-huh. Toxic Avengers is a pretty damn good movie. I like old Toxic.
It's fun, but it's like my son, he's 16, or he's going to be 16. He comes downstairs and we're right at the scene in the taco shop where the dog gets shot and it gets a little weird. And he's like, "What are you watching?" This is Toxic Avenger. And he's like, "I'm going to get a sandwich and sit down." He got a sandwich and sat down, and he made it to about the end of that scene when he's walking off with the blind lady, and he's like, "Well, that's enough of this for me." And off he went. So it's not for everyone.
Nightwing says it's a classic movie, so he agrees with you. Toxic is pretty classic, but Toxic is that way on purpose, though.
Right.
And I don't mind those movies at all. The ones that are going for it. The best ones are the ones that are trying to be serious and don't realize that they're doing it anyway.
Right. Right. Or they just didn't have the budget for it. The actors weren't up to the chops. on it. Again, I like a good bad movie. Another one, and I mentioned it before, I think on the last stream you did when Sue Studio was asking when we were going to do another private movie night or whatever. I was saying Flesh Gordon.
I've got that on.
Have you seen that?
I do. I've got it on DVD in there, and it was very good. Emperor Wang, the spaceship that they traveled in, the planet Mongo, looked like a dildo. There was a lot of topless scenes with the girlies in there, but it was a soft core, so there wasn't any hardcore.
Right. Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, whenever I tell people about it, they're like, "What is it? Flash Gordon reimagined as a porn?" And I know it's not pornography. It's what I would call like a skin flick, or what do they call that in the 80s? A schmut. It's a schmut movie.
Yeah, it's soft core. It's not. Well, it is a soft core porn movie. I don't know if it. I don't think it got an X rating. I think they skirted right up to the very, very line, kind of like we do on here on YouTube, and just went, I'm not over the line. I'm not over the line. I'm not over the line. Johnny Five, Short Circuit. That was a good movie. Now that was a good movie. That was a good movie. That wasn't a cheesy movie at all.
No, I like that one. That one had some heart.
And of course, it had a hit song in it.
What I remember as a kid, "Here's Johnny." I remember that. But I remember as a kid when they did the ending of that, and you thought, well, I mean, I hate it. Spoiler alert for a 40-year-old movie. Spoiler alert. When he gets blown to smithereens, I thought they got him, and I remember being pretty upset by that as a kid until they, of course, old Johnny come out of the back and no disassemble, Stephanie.
Bill, you're over the line. I'm always over the line. It's only my big toe, though. I'm right there at it, though.
If he'd clipped them toenails, he wouldn't be over the line.
Evil Dead. Now, those are some movies that I haven't watched at all.
You haven't seen Evil Dead?
No.
It's a good one. If you like a good horror flick or a disturbing flick, that's another one. That was one of those ones where, like, when I was 13 and you'd have like a bunch of friends and you're doing like the old slumber party night or whatever, a bunch of buddies, and you can stay up late and eat popcorn and find a movie at the video store there, and you'd like ask your friends, "Have you guys seen Evil Dead?" And then if any of them said no, you're like, "Oh, we gotta watch this. Yeah, I gotta show it to you." It's one of those ones where you gotta get them with it. It's not quite as bad as like the Faces of Death, but one of them ones where you're gonna get your friends with it. It's a get ya movie.
I tell you what a get me movie is. And I got by that when I was a kid, and I got re-got by it as an adult because I'd forgotten just how awful it was. It's Cannibal Pharaoh.
Oh, sure.
Oh, my
that's
God.
That's a gnarly one.
That and Cannibal Holocaust. I don't know which one's worse. I want to say Cannibal
Holocaust. Pharaoh. I thought Holocaust was worse.
What was the one where they raped that girl and... Oh, I said the word. Here, YouTube, gonna get me. Where they R-worded that girl, and then they burned up all them people in the hut or whatever. Was that Holocaust or was that Pharaoh?
I think that was Holocaust, but I could be wrong.
Yeah,
it's been a while since I've seen those, but that was why I was saying Holocaust was worse. Was for that scene.
Think of the children. Think of the children.
Right. I only got lyrics with his mama right now, so I have an empty basement. And quite honestly, Lyric has older brothers, and anything that you think Lyric doesn't know, he knows.
Right.
Lyric hasn't heard. He's heard. He has older brothers, and he's in school. Yeah. I Spit on Your Grave. That's another one.
I've seen that one. I'll tell you. I'll tell you how badly I got with. I think it might have been. I want to say it was Campbell Pharaoh. So I was busy. I was busy doing hijinks on the high seas, and I got those two movies, and then I went ahead and put them into Nero, burning ROM, burnt them onto a DVD, set it up with some movie trailers and all kinds of grindhouse goodies so that I could make it play like it was playing in a grindhouse movie. Did all that pre-watch, now mind you, and this was early on I guess a Saturday morning when my daughter was probably at the tender age of 11 or 12 years old. You see where this is going, don't you, Joneser?
Yes, I do. What's Daddy watching?
Uh-huh. And so I'm like, well, I remember I was probably 12 years old when I watched this, so I'm thinking, well, how bad is it going to be? Oh, I got in big trouble.
I imagine you did.
Hmm. I felt really bad after that for a long, long time because that I shouldn't have done that. I should not
Well,
have
I
done that.
not as big of a movie or as big of a scare, but I remember watching Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, and I had my young cousin Jance over, and Jance was probably a little too young for snake babies and chilled monkey brains and skulls on the walls. And, but we watched it, and sure enough, that got a PG. You
It
put
did.
that movie out now, there ain't no way you getting a PG on that movie. There ain't no way, you know.
And I did not understand Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom after Raiders of the Lost Ark when I was younger and it actually came out. It wasn't until years later that I found out that this was a prequel movie, which is why it didn't have the same feel as Raiders of the Lost Ark, because this was earlier in Jones's career before Raiders.
Oh, I didn't realize that, or I never thought of it that way. I always thought it was just in sequential, I guess.
Mm-mm.
Um,
Nope.
where would I get that information, or where did they have a year come up on the screen?
I don't remember. I got my information from the information that I always got it from the old venerable Starlog magazine.
Oh, okay.
So
I mean, I
I
suppose it
trust
makes
that.
sense. I suppose it makes sense, but I mean, I don't know. There's really nothing in either one of them that could tell you one needed to go before the other. In my mind, I can't think of any sequence of events that determines that, because to me it seemed like two completely different movies with the same title character. There I don't think there are any reoccurring characters besides him.
Hey, Jeff's here. Hey man, how's it going? And Wifey says Evil Ed. I think he was an ice cream man killer.
I don't remember that one.
No, I don't either. I don't
I
either.
do know that there was a phase in my life where I was probably between the ages of 11 years old and 15. And I would go to the video store, and we didn't have Blockbuster. We had one of them mom and pop video stores, one of them ones
Yes.
with a little black curtain, or you can go back and get the other movies.
Yeah,
And
yeah. I'll tell you a story about
this
that later.
dude,
Go on.
this dude was a horror connoisseur, and he had a whole back section, a grindhouse and horror and obscure movies, and you could literally go there every other day and rent a new one that you've never seen before. And I went through that dude's library over those 4 or 5 years, just consuming every stupid horror movie I could get, because I was into that kind of genre, which I think most kids at that age, teenage boys, that's what you're watching, especially in the 80s, 90s,
All right, we had a video store on Marks that was in an old house, and they had taken most of the walls out, so you could just walk around in there, and and you had a bunch of shelves in there with the videotapes on them. But And these were just the video boxes. You had to take the boxes up there, and they would give you the tapes, you know, inside of a plastic videotape container. And yeah, we're gonna talk about them movies there, Blue Sky Squatch. The movies that Joneser's talking, well, I don't know if Joneser's talking about them movies or not. He might have been talking about just grindhousey type movies. Now
Oh no.
the movies that in this store weren't in a section of the store at all. The videotape boxes had been collapsed flat and had been put like files in a filing cabinet inside of a pasteboard box that was underneath the cash register at the front of the store. And we were like 15 and 16 years old with no business having access to said box. And the owner or the person that was behind the counter of the video store didn't give a shit as long as they were making the money. And they would pull the pasteboard box out and set it up on the counter, and we'd go through there and we'd find some really corn movie there, and get it out of there. And this was in the now. This was I'm gonna date myself here. We didn't own a video recorder or player for the house. We had to rent that too.
See, we had the player, and this guy at this shop, he didn't do that in the way you described. He had a section of the store that was curtained off,
Yeah.
and it was a little horseshoe in there, and he had them laying right on the shelf, just like the other movies in the store. Only there was a black curtain between you and that room, and if you were in my 11, 12-year-old ass, knew very well what kind of movies were back there. And if somebody was to go back there and pull the curtain and go in there and grab some and then come back and maybe not pull that curtain shut all the way, and if you were over in the little horror section where I was, you might be
Taking a peek.
because we all knew what kind of movies were in there. Brown chicken, brown cow. Brown chicken,
yeah.
brown cow.
Yep, that's what was in there. That would be the classics like Deep Throat.
Beyond the Green Door.
Behind the Green Door, yeah, I remember that one. I was disappointed in Behind the Green Door. It wasn't everything that it was made out to be.
Well, it was a one of its kind at the time. You know, there's not like you had nowadays. You can just go on your Google machine and get 500 million results of whatever sick thing you want to type in there. But back then, you were kind of at the mercy of whatever you could find.
Yeah, it was an interesting time. I can tell you, the 70s corn movies are a whole different variety of animal than the later 90s, and now it's all online, just pure deep. Nothing there.
You know what gets me is I of course was in the 80s, you know, was my time, and I still like them 80s hairdos. It kind of does something for me when I see them 80s chicks and them 80s hairdos with the 80s clothing. And then it kind of bothers me now thinking that they're probably 70 years old now. And I'm like, ew.
What was that other one? Taboo.
Oh,
Who
sure.
was the lady? Who was the lady that played in that? She was a little older even back then.
Yeah. Dang, she was purty though. She was a purty girl.
Was. We
A
need
purty
another
girl.
movie night. We do. I like Salt. One of the reasons I haven't really done one is because I'm trying to figure out how to do it without resorting to the Streamlabs, which I can't really use anymore because I don't pay for that.
Was it Samantha Fox?
No, 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 it wasn't her. Oh God. Now you're gonna make me Google this, and that means I'm gonna have to open a brain. Oh, I can't. I'll have to. I can do it over here.
Nina Hartley.
Keep going.
I'm gonna give myself away naming too many of these names.
People are gonna be like, "What kind of sick freak is Jones? He knows all these names." I know all these names from 30 years ago.
Sure you do.
I couldn't name you two of them now. Now that they're mainstream and it's an actual real job now.
Kay Parker.
There you go. That would have been my next one.
Toy Mama's here. Hey, Bill and Joneser and everyone in chat. We're having a Memorial Day hangout here. It's like the guys hanging around the fire, you know, and beer in their hand. Talking about all the good old times that they had watching corn movies. They were 15 and 16 years old.
Well, we had to discover nature, Bill. You know, it wasn't like it is now where they had like sexual education classes like they do now. Now they practically probably just bring two people in the room and just let the kids watch. You know, when we were kids, they just drew a picture of a cow and said, "There's a woman's reproductive system. It's a cow head there on the chalkboard. Good luck, kids."
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I got a 1950s PSA movie where it's the boys in the locker room and the coach comes in and one of them goes, "Oh, I had a wet dream last night."
Yeah.
Back to I Like Salt. I think I can do this with Google Meets because I had to install a plug-in that would allow you to hear the dang movie playing when I play it. Instagram's going nuts. Everybody must have just woke up.
Now I say I keep hearing it going ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, I'm fixing to put this thing in work mode so that it'll quit dinging when these people start sending these Instagram messages.
Jenny Pepper was in the movie High School High Comedy. I don't know if I've seen that.
Nightwing. Is that a corn movie or is that just an R-rated movie? One must know for, you know, educational purposes.
Right.
Focus.
I like sharks.
Work. So I've got my focus in work mode now, so that should stop all the dinging off my phone.
Bing.
Bing, bing, bing.
George Valentine, how you doing,
Hey,
sir?
George, what's happening, man? Let me go ahead and close this browser window down where I was using the old Google. Have you heard that the Google AI went nuts again recently?
I did not know.
Okay. For those of you who don't know, you can probably look this up online. It's kind of funny. A lot of the more newsy YouTubers have been covering this for over the weekend. So Google, in their infinite wisdom, have decided to, like Bing, link their AI to their search page, so that the AI is doing the searching for you using its artificial intelligence. Well, what we didn't know was they had also made a deal with Reddit so that the Google AI had access to Reddit. Do you see where this is going, John? Or this is going to a very terrible, terrible place. And what happened was that people were looking up stuff like, can you get cockroaches in your penis? And it's like, yes, sure you can. You can get 10 in your penis over a period of years, and that's why the word cock comes from. It comes from cockroach. And then it was somebody said, how can I keep my cheese from sliding off my pizza after I do it? And they're like, put Elmer's glue on it and just glue it down to the pizza. And then there was another one that was telling you to eat rocks and gravel every day in your food. And they had to immediately disconnect the unhinged psychotic Google AI from the search engine, which I find all of this perfectly hilarious personally.
Right. What's funny to me is there is probably a higher percentage of people than I am comfortable wanting to acknowledge that are actually going to put Elmer's glue on their pizza to keep their cheese from sliding off and are going to eat gravel and rocks and stick bugs in their wiener or whatever they're supposed to do or not supposed to do. Or,
well, what do you expect when you link your AI to Reddit? That's the paragon of truth right there, is it not?
Well, yeah, I would say that Reddit is where the depraved go on the internet to go act like depraved people.
I suppose anything can be used irresponsibly.
Yes.
I am watching you guys. Is that good enough for me? Having family time? Well, certainly, man. You're one of the brothers. And the sisters. I don't want to forget them. I don't see Studio or OBS, but I do see Christina here. Hey. And
Mary.
Yeah. Radical Mom in the house, too. The Tide Pod generation exists, so don't discount anything. I'd already forgot about that stupidity that happened a few years ago.
Well, I think they'll just weed themselves out by continuing to perpetrate said nonsense.
Yeah, eat the Tide Pods and wash it down with a little bit of Clorox and go ahead and lay down
Sure.
and die and get out of the damn gene pool altogether.
It's a sad thing.
I find it odd and interesting that the mush-minded children are being fed this nonsense. It's almost like someone's doing that on purpose. Could they be doing that?
Well, and here's some food for thought. I got a letter or email from the school, an official school email from the principal and the superintendent about the existence of a litter box in the bathroom at the schools for the kiddie children. I don't know if you heard about this, but there's a epidemic of teenage children that pretend to be kitty cats or puppy dogs or identify with whatever they identify with, and they have to accommodate these people to have a litter box in the bathroom for them to use.
Oh, come on, man. God damn it. They're not sitting there shitting in a goddamn sandbox in the fucking bathroom.
Well, the superintendent and the principal, I'm telling you, this was an official email I got saying that there had been rumors of the existence of this thing, but that it is not true and that they had in no way, shape, or form have allowed that to be a thing at the school. Although they worded it like, we respect your children's rights to be who they want to be and do what they want to do or whatever. And I'm like, okay. So I'd ask my son because I knew my son would tell me the truth. And I said, so how far down the rabbit hole does this thing really go? Because I just got this email. And he said that there are a couple kids in one of his classes where, like, if the teacher asks them a question, they will look at the teacher and just go, meow. Now, I'm trying to wind the clock back. Hold on a second. Let me get my point out and I'll pass the ball to you here. I'm trying to wind the clock back to the 1990s. I'm sure you can do a better one on me. What my high school teachers, especially the men ones, would have done if you'd have done that in 1994 when Coach Zahner had asked you, hey, boy, what's the answer to? And you'd have went, meow. And what his reaction might have been.
I'm going to say the same reaction I was fixing to say just then. They'd have took you outside and not just paddled you, but they would have beat your ass.
You definitely wouldn't be allowed to stay in the class and continue to participate, if that's even could be called participating.
Time for more homeschooling.
There's a lot of people in my area doing that. They're taking them out of the schools and just doing it themselves because they don't want to deal with this.
Part of the issue here has been we have gotten a lot of people that aren't from here who are now teaching in our schools. I don't know if you've heard of a program called Teach Across America.
I have.
And what they do is they'll go into a college or somewhere and they'll tell these kids, look, you want your college education paid for? Become a teacher, take education classes, and get your master's degree in education. We'll pay for it all, but sign this contract. You will teach for a certain number of years in low income, low performing schools across America. And the Delta area of Mississippi is one of those areas. So we get the ones that are wearing the weird colored glasses and have their hair colored green and stuff like that with rings in their noses and eyebrows and lips.
They're going to change the world. They're going to fix your area. You're going to go from the lowest performing schools.
My brother. I'm going to tell you something, my brother. In this area right here, okay, is predominantly of the African American persuasion, and they don't play that damn game at all. I can remember very distinctly when I was in school. Miss Harrell was our teacher at the time, and she had told all the boys to go out in the hall. Now, why would she do something like that? What was she planning on doing to us? Well, she had a board, is what we called it. It was in the shape of a paddle. It was about yay thick, and masking tape had been applied to the end of it. I'm sure you've seen these before, Jones, or in your time. And that was going to be applied to the seat of education. And she told one of them that she was going to tell his mama and daddy. And he literally got down on his knees and pleaded with her to do anything she wanted to him, but do not tell his father.
Yep. He was more scared of that than her and then that board.
The Meow kids will not only be held back, they would probably be going to a mental institution. The one in Mississippi was called Whitfield.
Right.
Back in our days, those creepies would have gotten stomped. Well, there was a lot of that going on too. If you didn't conform well enough into the group that you were in, you stood the chance of getting your ass whipped after school or in the schoolyard or whatever, and that happened some too. It was an interesting time for Generation X. We were pretty hardened up by the circumstances of our existence.
No, we used to make each other cry for fun. That was the whole point.
Rolando, in Texas, you had to go pick your switch. Yeah, I've had to do that before too. And don't come back with something small, because Granny will go out there and get something big and beat your ass with it.
Oh, that's funny.
Have I ever tell you the worst ass whooping I ever got, Jones? Or?
No, sir.
I probably told this on the show before, but we've got new people here, maybe not have heard it. Hey, Gap After Dark, good to see you, man. I'm going to tell the story of the worst ass whooping I ever got by my grandmother. So, it's about this time of year. Summertime is upon us, school is out. So what do they have at the church during that period of time? It's a thing called Vacation Bible School. It's where for a week you go and you have a little Bible class. It's kind of like a little school there in the church, and usually there's a theme involved, and all the kids are there, and you have games that you play, and you have Kool-Aid to drink and cookies to eat and all that kind of crap. Well, old Bill decided that instead of going to Vacation Bible School, he was going to go to the drugstore in Mark's that had a comic book rack and go buy him some comic books. So to get to Mark's, I had to hitchhike there, of course. So I got me a ride to Mark's and got up there and got me some comic books and headed back home. And of course, it's June, right? So, you know, pop-up rainstorms happen occasionally in June down here. It happens all the time. The sky got black. The rain came down in sheets. I got soaked to the bone before I got home. So I came in the house, and my grandmother very sweetly met me at the door. Oh, you've gotten soaking wet. Why don't you get out of those wet clothes and go in there and take you a nice hot bath in the bathroom and dry off before you catch a cold? So that's what I did. You know, that's a good idea. So I went and got all them wet clothes off, got in bath water ran, got in the bathtub, got all clean, come out of the bathtub, started drying off with the towel, got the towel wrapped around me, headed into my room. I just had shut the door and taken the towel down when the door burst open and my grandmother came in with a belt in her hand and began beating my naked ass. Because Vacation Bible School teacher had already told her that I didn't go to Vacation Bible School. And she literally beat my ass until I couldn't feel the whelps of the belt anymore. And all I could do was just lay there on the bed and just lay with my back to her while she whipped me with that belt. Until she finally got tired of beating the shit out of me and she left out of the room. And I just laid there and whimpered and cried. Naked.
And you never ditched Bible school again?
I did not. I went the next day and the day after that, all the way to the rest of the week. Ouch.
Right.
It was a different time, people, and that was not child abuse. Bill learned his lesson. He learned it the hard way, but he learned it.
Right. You know, and I hate to say this, but some of that is missing in today's society. That's how you get these. One of the videos on the internet that I love to watch is when the grown people are getting pulled over or arrested and they're dealing with the cops and they're just acting the fool and they resist and they fight and they argue. And you can just see, oh, this person's never had been properly disciplined by their parent in any way, shape, or form. And they're about to learn today that you are not special. You do not get to make up the rules. You cannot just yell your way out of this situation like you have with every other situation you've been in your little life. And, you know, and I hate to say, mommies and daddies out there that are allowing your little darlings to act this way, you're not helping them. You are not helping them. You are making them become a problem. And they're a problem that they're ill-equipped to deal with. And somebody's going to deal with them, and it's not going to treat them well because you failed as a parent to teach them any kind of respect or accountability. And it's sad.
Mike Fee remembers lots of ass beatings from his grandmother. Melvor in the house. Hey, Melvor, what's happening? Happy Merry Memorial Day, guys, says he. Merry Memorial Day to you too, sir. Rolando Flores had one of those dads that spanked with his hand. And he was a good boy, so it was very rarely that he got the hand spanking. My grandmother, she disciplined kind of strangely. Well, I don't know if it's strange or not, but see, the little girls back in the 70s had to wear little dresses, and so their legs were always bare. So she would switch their bare legs. The little boys had blue jeans on, so to get them their bare legs switched, you had to take your damn breeches down so she could switch your bare legs with the switch. I remember that happening.
My dad had perfected the look, and my dad was a connoisseur of the look. And my dad's look would knock any smart ass little kid right into shape. I remember my cousin, we had some cousins that weren't properly disciplined, and their parents were very permissive. They come over our house and they'd start acting up. And I used to always love that when my dad would look at my little cousin Andy or my little cousin Brandon, and he'd give them that look, and just watching that kid shrink and become smaller before my eyes, you know, and be like, they knew not to fuck with him.
I remember one time there was a kid playing over at the house. Now, you've heard the stories of, you know, a lot of times that the neighbors would give you a spanking as well as the parents. Well, that's really not true. They really didn't. I never remember a neighbor ever touching me. They would just tell on you. But I do remember there's a kid from somewhere in the neighborhood that was playing over at my house. He was running through the house doing something and jumping off of the furniture and just being rambunctious and wild. And I remember my grandmother grabbed his arm and pulled him close, and she said, "Don't do that anymore. You might get hurt."
Right. Right. And it landed on him. Yeah,
the snap of the belt. The Chicago stare.
And we were from Southern California, but yeah, my dad had perfected it, and his dad had taught it to him. So yeah, his dad had been through Korea, and he weren't going to suffer no crap from nobody. You know.
Let's get on a totally different story. You said the word that reminded me of an old joke. There was a guy, and he went into the bathroom to take a piss, and he's standing there at the urinal pissing, and he's looking over there next to him, and there's this poor pitiful fellow over there that doesn't have any arms. And he said, "What happened to your arms, man? Was it, you know?" And he said, "I don't have. Can you help me here?" And he goes, "Yeah, I guess so." You know, he felt sorry for him, so he pulled it out and he did his business there, and he put it back up for him after he was done. He said, "Well, what happened to your arms, man? Was it Korea?" And then the guy pulls his arms back out of his shirt and he goes, "No, it's gonorrhea. I wouldn't touch that son of a bitch with a 10-foot pole."
Oh, that's messed up.
Welcome to Memorial Day, folks. It's just us hanging out. It's the boys. And if the girls are in here, you're just going to have to endure the boys.
Right. Well, a lot of time the girls like to hear what the boys is saying too, and they just go, "Oh, they're so terrible. They're so icky." And then they do one of them.
Tee.
And then they do one of them.
Yeah. Speaking of terrible, y'all want to hear something terrible? I've got all kinds of terrible music over here that we can listen to. We already listened to one of them. Someone was saying that they love that Stinkor figure. I'm gonna be honest with you. I hate that Stinkor figure, and I always have. But I like him a lot more now that I have a reason to have him.
Right. Well, because he's getting paid to crap, get paid to bite best 45 minutes of
My fucking life. I know. It's so real, right? Let me go over here and get into the comedy corner here, and we'll get the other one that everybody likes queued up here.
Merman the second. Yeah, he has some borrowed parts. Some mecha armor with a merman head.
He does have some borrowed parts. He is a borrowed parts creature. He is merman all day long, just painted up to look like a skunk. Stinkor, says Sue Studio. Hey, Sue Studio, you just now getting here? Said, love that figure. I had that figure. Yeah, the other thing is he doesn't have the patchouli odor of the original figure. He's got an odor, but it's not really much of an odor.
Did you see, was it Hebrew?
That's where I was going. Yeah, he sat there and bought some patchouli oil off of Amazon and then stuffed the figure full of cotton.
Dumped it in there, stuffed it in there. That thing had to be like a bomb by the time he was done.
Yeah, he had to keep it in a plastic bag.
Yeah, he overdid it. But
his wife was mad. Yeah, his wife was mad at him there, Mike. I remember that. Funny as fuck.
What was it, Hebrew?
Hanging out with the boys. Maybe I shouldn't be here. Oh, it's up to you. We're just having fun. If you want to have fun, stay. She's allergic. Allergic to patchouli oil?
Well, that had to be bad.
I remember I was watching that video when he was sitting there doing that, and my wife looked over at me and she goes, "You better not do that."
Mine did the same thing, only I told her, "You don't have to worry, I got a vintage one." So it's like, I didn't need to do that. My vintage one still stunk.
All right, Nightwing. His dad bought him a Stinkor figure, and his mother said, "That toy stinks." Well, yeah.
That's the whole point.
Whole point.
Right.
All right, well, we've already played Stinkor once, Sue Studio, so we're going to go do the other one. How about that one real quick, guys?
Oh shit.
There we go. Break it up just a little bit there. And Joneser, he got himself got by doing stuff like this. But you just going straight to the feeding trough and getting the stuff that you didn't have no business getting, didn't you?
Yeah, some. I did splice some of them together and move them around a little, but the one that where it pulled the plug, that was definitely a straight grab from the feed and trough. But I was a little surprised at how much of it they let me do. In fact, quite honestly, I almost wonder if it wasn't. I won't know until I can dig in deeper, but I almost wonder if it was just because I kept closing that window that kept popping up, and then eventually
I don't know. I remember when they got me and I got the notice about it, and I figured out what I was scared to death. I thought, oh shit, I've got copyright struck. I don't think
And see, they didn't say that. I didn't say that. It said it was a warning.
Yeah. Let me
It
go
did say though, because it's my first offense, that this is a warning, and that if I have anything like this happen again in the next week, then it will automatically be a strike.
Okay. It did say that. That's
Yes.
interesting. Huh.
It also said most people on YouTube never get another one again after their first warning.
Okay. Huh. Interesting.
I mean, I know I had enough of my own content in there where I could probably just keep doing that, and then I can't be got because it's mine.
I'm still wondering why they you can't get into the usually when you get one of those you have the ability to go in and see what the problem is, and they'll tell you which parts of the video or ID struck or
Yeah,
whatever.
it would not
Trim.
allow me to do that because I tried. It did allow me to do that on the live stream yesterday, but that wasn't a strike or a warning or a hit or even anything. It said copyrighted content found. The user allows this to be used on YouTube, so I was like, okay, I don't need to do anything with that.
I've had live streams interrupted before, like that, but I've never had one taken down entirely. I mean, it just black screen until it was over with, until I finally stopped it or whatever.
Yeah, they straight pulled the pin, privated it. I can't even access it or view it or mess with it. I can't do anything. I don't know. Maybe later, like you said, once they've run their thing, I might be able to get in there and monkey with it, because I would love to be able to keep as much of it up as I can. I mean, I was getting, quite a bit of watch hours and views out of it and interaction with it. And there was some good stuff in there, but it's not like I'll never.
Let me read out what Sue Studio's got here. I'll let you finish it through. I want to read this out because I can't put it on the screen. My appreciation to all the servicemen and women who have served our country. My appreciation to all the men and women who have made the ultimate sacrifice to give us freedom. Thank you, Studio.
Absolutely. That's what the day is about.
And thank you, Mike. My service was very small, but I did serve for a little while there in the United States. My service doesn't matter. It's those guys that really did the real service that matters. So there you go, folks. But yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you, Jones. I kind of feel responsible for that because I'm over here skirting the line, and you guys are like saying, "Look at Bill over there. I want to do some of what Bill's doing." Be careful, brother.
I don't blame you, or you shouldn't blame yourself at all. I'm a big boy. I knew exactly what I was doing. I even joked in the chat, we're going to try to get got here. And I knew exactly what I was doing. So I'm actually surprised when that was going to be the last video. When it came off, I was going to close the show.
Yeah, they shut your stream down. I've never seen the stream actually get shut down. I've seen the stream get blocked, but I've never seen it get shut down.
Well, and like I said, there's a little warning thing that kept coming up, and I kept closing it. And I almost wonder if that's what it was, because there was some wording in there where it says you were warned multiple times. And so I almost wonder if this is a computer or an AI just saying, well, he closed that window.
I'm wondering if it's something new that they're doing now as well. I'm going to have to look into that.
I'll tell you, it could be, and I'll tell you this. If you're taking food from the trough, so we say, I noticed that there's not a watermark on people's stuff, but when I was grabbing certain stuff, there was one added as I took it in the corner, showing the person's profile picture.
So
I'm almost wondering if they are marking things if you're taking them from places.
I don't know.
They know where you got it from.
I don't know. It's quite interesting. I want to
Now you guys can call me Sniper Joneser, you know, as I
swiper,
stole it.
swiper,
I
swiper,
swiped it. I swipered it.
swiper,
You know,
swiper.
I
Stop
did.
swiping. Swiper, stop swiping.
I can't help it. You know, most role playing games when I play like Dungeons and Dragons or Skyrim or something, I usually play a thief character. So it makes perfect sense that, you know, in my toy selling business, I'm going to be a scalper. And then in my YouTubing, I'm going to be a swiper. And then in my, you know, Dungeons and Dragons role playing, I'm the thief. And so, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, yeah. It can be a learning experience. That is for sure. Let's.
If one thing we've learned that I am what you call a repeat offender, Bill. I repeat, I will offend again. I have learned nothing.
Okay.
I will go right back and do it again.
You're just a bad boy. Bad boys.
Can't help it. I was born to be bad.
I was kind of looking. My computer files are in the same shape as the room that I'm in right now. So everything's everywhere. I was trying to see if I could find that video that I made on myself getting blocked. I was
I remember I didn't see the shotgun incident or whatever it is Sue Studios talking about. I remember hearing about it. I wasn't there for that. I was there for the great Star Wars Popeye incident, and we weren't taken off, but we were. You couldn't see us for a minute.
We were blocked. Yeah,
Whereas they didn't even mess around with me. They didn't mess around with me. They were just like, "You're done."
Yeah, they went straight for your jugular, buddy. All right, let me see if I can find that that video about me getting blocked. I want to try to pull it up and play a little bit of it at least. Cause I played funny with that, but I was serious as well.
Well, thing is it's like, okay, this is not the first time something like this has happened to me. Like I've been on Facebook and I got put in Facebook jail or I got banned or whatever for a little bit. They put you on a timeout. I think for like a couple days I couldn't post or do anything. What's funny about that is I got banned from Facebook for sharing a picture I found on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And so now I got pulled off of YouTube for sharing a video I found on YouTube. So what gets me is, hey, I got in trouble for stealing that thing that guy stole. It wasn't his either.
All right, I think I found it. Let me get it into a playlist here. Yeah. Well, the thing about the Shogun Assassin was the same thing. It's a video that somebody posted on YouTube umpty million years ago that's still there this very day, and I got for it.
This is the same thing, Bill. That video was 14 years old.
All right, here we go. I'm gonna put this into a playlist.
Hey, that guy ripped off that thing I ripped off.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's terrible.
All right, I'm gonna put this into a playlist, and I'm gonna see if it'll play. I might have to monkey with it while it's playing, but so you guys know what we're talking about with the Great Shogun Assassin incident. I'm gonna see if I can play this.
Late Night with Bill and Largo got blocked. Why? Let's talk about it today on Weird Fantastic Toy Adventures. Alright, so what happened last night? Well, I played a trailer for Shogun Assassin, which of course got blocked by the YouTubesies. Had to trim that out to allow the restream to go public. So, who was the copyright owner that blocked me? Well, that would be Toho Limited. Blocked it in all territories. But you know what? Check this out. Of course, if you want to watch it, there's the source. A channel on the YouTubesies. A channel which has had it up unmolested in full HD for the past 8 years. Rules for thee, not for me. And let's see if we can watch that little sucker. There you go. It still plays. Interesting.
Return.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
Journey through a lost empire of mad wizards and barbaric passions.
So, if you want to watch it, there's the YouTube channel. Go check it out, guys. See y'all next time. This is Bill signing out. Good journey.
And there you go. So when I played it, boom, it took me straight off the damn air, but that video still sits there and plays to this very day. It's still there.
Yep. Same thing for the one that just got me. And so that makes me wonder, am I getting got from the person who actually owns the video, or am I getting got from the person who stole the video first?
I don't know. And I don't know how the blocking on a live stream works either. And why your stream got shut down, whereas others that have come across some of the same issues don't just get blocked for a minute until it's over, and why yours got completely shut down, and now you have no access to it. You can't trim it out. You can't do shit to it.
I don't know. I could message and find out further and see what. But to me, again, I joked around earlier saying I don't learn and I'm going to do it again and yada, yada, yada. And I probably will be, skirting the line just like every other content creator on here does. But I do think it was a bit of a learning experience because I know what kind of stuff I can mess with, what kind of stuff I can't mess with, and what kind of stuff I maybe can mess with but probably shouldn't. And I think that's where a lot of us live, in the maybe I can mess with but probably shouldn't place. And I've noticed, and I'm not going to throw out names here, but there's been a lot of live streamers in our little community or our little group that have been going to the toy commercials and going to the things. And I was no different. I was trying to do the same kind of thing, and I wonder how long until the algorithm catches on to that and goes, you know what? You don't own that either.
And what's weird is some commercials will get you and some won't. It all depends upon the content. I've had the melodies of some of the songs in a commercial get me, but not the commercial itself. I've had, for instance, the Crying Indian has a overture in the middle of it when he's paddling his canoe. That part I cannot play. There's I think a candy bar commercial. I think it's a Three Musketeers commercial has a song playing in the background that they'll get. But the commercial itself, perfectly fine. They don't care. And then there's others that doesn't matter at all. And then the other one that's confusing, all right, so a lot of people are fans of the Thundercats, right? I don't know if you're a Thundercat fan or not.
That's all right.
The Thundercat theme song you cannot play. You will get got for. However, you can play the Thundercat commercial, which contains the Thundercat theme song, and it won't get you. Explain that.
Well, and I thought for sure, because I did the Pee-wee's Playhouse thing. I did the Heathcliff. I did Spider-Man. I was going to do Ninja Turtles, but I figured that would get me. I actually figured Spider-Man would get me. So I'm not shocked that I got. I'm shocked at what got me. Because I guarantee you, millions. Well, actually, no, that other video with the Indian dude beating on people, that had millions of views too. But I
And
can't
that was a
imagine
YouTube video that you had gotten a hold of. Is that not right?
Yeah,
Kind of like Shogun
but
Assassin.
yes, but here's the thing. That channel's not the owner.
He's not
So
copyright
I can't
struck.
be getting got from that, right? You would think not, because
Shogun Assassin was Toho. It was Toho's IP, and it said it was property of Toho on the screen that tells me who copyrighted it or whatever. Oh yeah. Oh,
okay,
there
so
is.
that's not the people, but that's not the people who own the original trailer, right?
Toho? Yeah, Toho owns the rights to the Lone Wolf and Cub movies, and Shogun Assassin was an Americanized version of that was released over here.
Okay, so the channel that's still playing it, though,
They don't own shit of it.
right?
Are you guys still going? Well, I've moved over here. Joneser got struck out of oblivion into oblivion over there on his channel a minute ago. So we're over here just hanging out and shooting the shit and playing music and stuff. And Paula had come in and said that she likes those Thundercats too. And there's Radical Mom saying hey to her. Bjorn Jorgensen says, I'm starting to hate 12-inch Joes. Yes, Toho are Godzilla's owners, and they are vicious when it comes to copyright. They are very, very copyright heavy. That's why I'm wondering how Grindhead Jim gets away with that Godzilla intro that he's been using for years. Why are you hating 12-inch Joes, Bjorn? I know you got some there in the toy shop. I saw some Johnny West figures there as well. 6 inches the best.
That's what she said.
I've been going through them since Saturday. Okay. Are these vintage, or are these those re-releases that they came out with back in the late 80s, early 90s? Remember my daughter had one. That was funny. She had a police officer G.I. Joe. And he had a police officer hat on and everything. And she had an infantryman G.I. Joe. And I did not realize this until after she was grown and she told me that she played with them this way. But she played with them with her Barbies.
Oh, snap. Joe was on a freaking 3-day pass, dude. What's up, ladies? Woo!
Well, she said that the infantryman G.I. Joe would go off to fight in the war, and then policeman G.I. Joe would come in and
oh boy,
be with Barbie. And I said, Sarah, you were like 7 and 8 years old. How did you know all that kind of crap? And she goes, well, I used to watch Days of Our Lives with Mama and Grandma.
There you go. She knew how it all worked.
Could you try again?
Shut up,
We will
Siri.
try
I wasn't
again.
even talking to you. That's
Siri,
another
volume
thing.
10.
Did y'all hear Siri just ask me? She didn't get that. Could I say it again? These fucking things listen to you, and every once in a while they turn themselves on, and you don't even turn them on.
Oh, my son, he was playing and his Siri on in his room, and his friend, while his Siri was playing the music, while it's like 1 in the morning, and all of a sudden his friend goes, "Hey Siri, volume 10." The red song went blam, blam, blam. Oh, that's funny.
Crazy, man. Crazy, yeah.
Hey Siri, are you spying on us?
She's attuned to my voice, so nobody else should be able to hey Siri her.
Hey Siri, are you spying on us?
Hey Siri, are you spying on me?
No.
Sure. Okay.
That's good. If she says no, it's got to be true.
Right.
It wouldn't lie. would it?
No, computers are incapable of lying, right? Except if you're the Google AI and they tell you that if you want to keep your cheese from falling off your pizza, just glue it down with some Elmer's glue.
And then eat rocks.
And eat rocks, yeah, and put cockroaches up your pee hole.
It's good for you. Siri is in cahoots with Skynet.
I believe you there.
Isn't there another one called Cortana? I think there's a Cortana.
The Cortana is the one that's built into Windows, and it never worked right.
Cortana.
How's the pet rock? Okay, well, I finally took it out and played with it a little bit today. It's still kind of traumatized from the journey from the bookstore here to the house. So I put it back in its box and it calmed down a little bit, and I'm pretty sure that I'm thinking about taking it out and putting it on a piece of newspaper. I was assured by the Pet Rock instruction booklet that it would stay there on the piece of newspaper until I removed it.
Bill, have you ever asked Siri to talk dirty to you?
No, I haven't.
You should do that right now.
Hey Siri, talk dirty to me.
You go first. Tell me your hopes, your dreams, your favorite cuisine.
Ask it again.
Okay. Hey Siri, can you talk dirty to me?
I'm really more of a listener.
One time I did that and she went rubbish, comatose, garbage, compost, radioactive waste.
And then another time she told me, I cannot. I am as pure as the driven snow.
I want to eat candy and poop emeralds.
Nice. If you ever manage to do that, I'll feed you candy endlessly.
Hang on. Let's see if we can show something here. I'm going to let this be a surprise. Some of you guys probably have already seen this if y'all been messing around the Insta here today.
Surprise, surprise.
Oh, the surprises that I have in store for you today. The brand new toy that you must all have in your collection is right.
Oh, I see this.
Right here. Get it on the screen where we can actually see it. There we go. The two girls.
This was probably one of the worst videos I had ever seen on the internet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. But after watching this video and being thoroughly disgusted by the whole thing, oh, Mike.
We could tell who's seen it before.
Well, that's the thing. I think that the original place where I saw this being posted, I said, you know what's worse is the fact that we all know what this is.
Right.
It says a lot about us.
Bjorn, don't do it. There are some things you cannot unsee.
You can't, and it will take a little piece of your soul away from you that you can never get back.
It will. Unfortunately, once you have seen it, you become one of those a-holes that wants to make sure that every single person that hasn't seen it sees it.
That's true, and that's where all the real comedy of this is not watching that; it's watching the reaction videos.
Yes, watching other people watch it.
I've seen it a few times, and I couldn't look away. Even I tried. I did try. Sure, you did.
And there's somebody out there who this is kind of their jam. They watch that video and they're like, "What?"
Well,
All
that's
right.
what is that rule? There's a rule. internet.
And they're like, this is the one for me. I am the target audience.
Internet rules of the internet.
Yeah, I was a little disturbed by that too, Goji. Most people didn't go back more than once. In fact, every time I've tried to make somebody watched it, I made sure to look away and just watch them while they watched it. There's a worse one.
It's Rule 36. Have you ever heard Internet Rule 36? Rule 36 states that no matter how fucked up it is, there's always worse than what you just saw.
It's true.
Let's go through the rules. We haven't ever done this on this show, have we? I will leave said picture up because this works into this here. And Sue Studio's covering her eyes, but she's peeking through. Okay. I had to show others, and they said, not unless you watch also. Don't do it, Bjorn. Stick with your tiger flowers. Thank you, Gojatron. Yes, yes. Okay, Rule 0. Don't fuck with cats.
I've seen that.
Rule 1. Don't talk about B. And I'm not going to explain that if you don't know what that is. Rule 2. You don't talk about B. Rule 3. We are anonymous. Rule 4. We're legion. Rule 5. We do not give up. We do not forget. Rule 6. Anonymous can be a horrible, senseless, uncaring monster. Rule 7. Anonymous is still able to deliver. Rule 8. There are no rules about posting. This is all 4chan stuff, folks. Rule 9. There are no rules about moderation either. Enjoy your ban. Rule 10. B is not your personal army. Rule 11. No matter how much you love debating, keep in mind that no one on the internet debates. Instead, they mock your intelligence as well as your parents.
It's true.
Rule 12. Anything you say can and will be used against you. Rule 13. Anything you say can and will be turned into something else. Rule 14. Do not argue with trolls. It means they win. Rule 15. The harder you try, the harder you will fail. You know what's crazy? There's probably Rule 34 of this stuff. Well, we'll keep going down here. Rule 16. If you fail in epic proportions, you may just become a winning failure. Rule 17. Every win eventually fails. Rule 18. Everything that can be labeled can be hated. Rule 19. The more you hate it, the stronger it gets. Rule 20. Nothing can be taken seriously. Now, rules 21 through 24 are grouped together here. Original content is original only for a few seconds before it's no longer original. Copy-pasta is made to ruin every last bit of originality. Copy-pasta is made to ruin every last bit of originality. Every post is always a repost of a repost. Rule 29. We've skipped quite a bit here, haven't we? On the internet, men are men and women are also men and kids are undercover FBI agents.
Yep.
Rule 30. Girls do not exist on the internet. Rule 31. Tits or get the fuck out. The choice is yours. Rule 32. You must have pictures to prove your statements. Anything can be explained with a picture. Picture, it didn't happen. Rule 33. Lurk more. It's never enough. Rule 34, and this is important, folks. You must remember this. Rule 34, there's a whole website devoted to Rule 34. Rule 34, if it exists, there is porn of it.
Yep.
Rule 35, if there's no corn of it, corn will be made of it.
Eventually.
Rule 36, no matter how messed up it is, there's always worse than what you just saw. Rule 37, you cannot divide by 0 just because the calculator says so. Rule 38, there are no real limits of any kind that apply here, not even the sky. Rule 39, which is written in all caps, says the caps lock is the cruise control for cool. Rule 40, even with the cruise control, you still have to steer. Rule 41, Desu isn't funny. Seriously, guys, it's worse than Chuck Norris jokes. Rule 42, nothing is sacred. Rule 43, the more beautiful and pure that a thing is, the more satisfying it is to corrupt it.
It's true.
Rule 44, if it exists, there is a version of it for your fandom. And if it has a wiki and possibly a tabletop version with a theme song performed by Vocaloid. Rule 45, when one sees a lion, one must get in the car. Okay, I'm going to click the explanation on that one because that one oh, Jesus Christ, it's a lion, get in the car! Okay, there's the explanation. Rule 46, and the first part is written normally, the second part is in all caps. The internet is serious fucking business. And that is true, folks. This is serious business. Rule 47, the pool is always closed. If you don't know what that's about, you don't remember the Heba Hotel incident. Rule 48, good henchai is Yuri, and that's how the internet works. The only exception may be vanilla. Rule 49, no matter what it is, it's somebody's fetish. Rule 50, a crossover, no matter how improbable, will eventually happen in fan art, fan fiction, or official release material, even often through fan fiction of it. Case in point, the DC cinematic universe. Rule 61, Chuck Norris is the exception, no exception. Rule 62, it has been cracked and pirated. You can find anything if you look long enough. That used to be true, but the way that they're censoring Google right now and linking it to the AI, that may no longer be. Unless you need to search somewhere else for it, which that may be the case. Hate to go, but Dad called. Okay, take care. Power lines. By his house by lighting hours and shut off the power to finish repair. I have to pick him up and go to eat. All right, well, y'all go take care. Back to the fun here. For every given male character, there's a female version of that character, and vice versa. There's also porn of that character as well. Rule 64, if it exists, it has Laurie. If it doesn't exist, there will be. The longer the lore that is around something is, the weirder it gets. If it has lore, it also has lore from alternate timelines, especially if the main lore is copyrighted by a big power-hungry corporation. Oh, Rule 68, this is an important one. Everything has a fandom. Everything. Even Two Girls in One Cup. Jones are gone. Did I lose you, Joneser? Just pulled out an MP Joe. Okay. What happened to Joneser? Joneser has turned his camera off, and he's also turned off his mic. Must be something happening there within the family. So let me go back over here to the rules. We were going through the rules. The rules are quite extensive and long. Let's see. Can I keep on going? Yes, we're almost to the end. The longer the lore around something is, the weirder it gets. If it has lore, it also has lore from alternate timelines. Yeah, we got that one. Okay. Everything is fan. 90% of Rule 67. 90% of fan fiction is the stuff of nightmares. Rule 70, do not talk about 100M get failure. Rule 72, if a song exists, there is megalomania of it. And Rule 77, the internet makes you stupid. Have a good day, folks. We got the rules out of the way. There's the rules of the internet. And I guess the most important rule is what? Rule 36. No matter how messed up it is, it's always worse. Or Rule 35. No, Rule 34. If it exists, there's porn of it. No exception. Rule 34. And Joneser has returned. Hey, Joneser. Saw you hopped out there for a minute.
Yeah, just had to take care of something.
Nightwing says, have a blessed holiday. Bill and Jones are finishing my workout. Have a great holiday chat. All right, man. You take care. Glad you could come and join us while you were doing your workout there, buddy. So there you go. I went through all the internet rules. If you want to find them, just look up the rules of the internet on your computer there, and it will take you to the page with them all on it. And if you don't know what some of them are, there are little explanations out to the side that you can click on, and it will give you the explanations. I could tell right off the bat as I was reading those that these all come from the place where all this stuff originates, and that is 4chan. Everything on the internet originates in 4chan. All memes, everything. But you already knew that, didn't you, Joneser?
If I didn't, I do now.
Yep, 4chan is the place. And that's where the Heba Hotel incident occurred and all that. So, yeah. Very interesting. How long have we been on?
We're about 100 minutes.
100 minutes. That's over an hour. We lost a whole bunch of viewers just now. So we're at 10 viewers. And we went down to what? 11. We were at 16. We just went down to 11, 10. Okay. Been on a while, says Mike Feed. Yeah. All right. Let me set us up something to play. Go ahead, John. Are you talking? I'm gonna set up something here.
Okay then.
Go studio mode, Bill. There you go. Go ahead.
Bill went through all the rules, but I've always been one of those. Just because there's a rule about it, don't mean you can't break it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so there's always exceptions to the rules, and but yeah, a lot of those do seem very poignant and very true most of the time. One thing that I'd noticed when we were talking, you had the two girls in one cup, and we were talking about some corn earlier, and I seen a thing. I can't remember if it was a documentary or a YouTube video or whatever I watched, something informational or educational or what have you, and it was following epidemic of low lifespans for certain industries, and pro wrestling was one of them, and the corn industry was another one, where you have a lot of people that work in this industry that die very young and tragic deaths, and I think due to the probably the circumstances of the business and the lifestyles that go along with it, and it's funny to me because, like we were saying earlier, this was one of those things where it wasn't everywhere like it is now. And now it seems so much more mainstream, and that everybody, has access, and it just seems to me like it's bigger. I mean, like it or respect it or understand the business or not, it's a $1 billion business. There is money rolling around in this, and anytime there's that many dollars rolling around in something, it's going to attract a certain kind of people who can get these dollars. And it's almost like a bug to the light, because a lot of the times there's pitfalls and traps and things where they don't do too well by the time they retire from this or get away from this. And then the hard thing is, is nowadays You don't even, in the old days, you had to go through the Hollywood system or through the movie system or whatever. Well, now you can make your little fans only and go on there, and you can stick your phone wherever you want to stick it and fund your own thing. And you don't need to be produced or bothered by anybody. And now there's a whole nother group of people who are amateur jumping into this very deadly, if I'm being honest with you, business. And the thing with the internet, like Bill and I know very well, once you put something out there on the internet, there ain't no getting it back, Jack. It's in the internet land, and it's out there in some way, shape, or form forever.
Mhm.
So one day you might be sitting there with your little grandbaby on your knee, you know, and then old grandbaby go to school, and then one of his little school friends goes, "Hey man, want to see a little picture of your meemaw naked? Hey, here's a little picture of your mama naked too. Ha ha." You know, we used to bully each other as kids, but I mean, I couldn't imagine in the 80s I come up and be like, "Hey Benji, come here. Check this out. I got a picture of your mom naked, dude. Look at that."
What's that in
Kids
her
are
mouth?
doing
Ha
that
ha
now.
ha.
Kids are doing that now.
Mhm.
And it's a different world, you know, and it's maybe not a better one unless you want a picture of Benji's mom for educational purposes or whatever reason you would want it.
I don't know. I'm ready to move on to something different. And right now, I'm thinking, bye. Oh, she's buying. I think she's saying bye to All Music Fan 80. I don't know if we've driven her off yet or not, but I will play something that will drive them back. Let's play this, Joneser. This is something as a set I haven't played all of in a long time.
The Adventures of Super.
entirely just crushed and crumbled. I'm not sure if it's safe to report from my vantage point. I really need to leave. Solar defenses informed me that the surrounding areas are in ruin. I see some people running now. In the opinion of this reporter, if this nation, or in fact the world, ever needed heroes, that time is now. That time is now.
In the great hall of the Justice League. Of the Justice League. In the great hall of the Justice League. Of the Justice League.
Yeah, we back. We are back, and a lot of folks have left. We had a pretty good dip there. I think we're right now got 10 folks watching. So, Jones and I were talking about it while the videos were playing. We figure everybody wants to have the rest of the afternoon to do things with their family and everything. So, I guess there we go. We'll call it a night. So the Ducks are playing now, and I want to thank everyone who stayed the whole time with us. Looked like Mike Fee stayed here. Now, he had to go drive, talk later. Music Fan 88 left, but I think Toy Mama was still here with us. So
we had a good crowd. We had some fun, perpetrated some nonsense, talked some crap. We managed to get in a porn discussion. That was pretty wild, so we were all over the place.
Pretty much like it always does over here. I will have to do some editing on this video later, but I will leave the majority of it up. But thank you all for being here, and we will see you next time. So good journey, everybody.